Good morning. It's Pop again, Dennis Murray. Today is Popcast 26, and it's going to get into things that can easily be upsetting. I'm going to talk about the experience of awe in terms of believing in God. So the title is Does the Experience of Awe Make Believing in God Reasonable? And my wisdom, such as it is on the subject, is I want to remind you, talking about matters that are sacred easily gets people angry and makes them stop listening in a hurry. Um, so I can only say that, in my opinion, we can't live together without talking about the sacred because it's the foundation of our living together. So we have to come to some understanding of it and our differences in approach and attitude towards the sacred for our civilization to flourish. And so I'm going to talk about this today, and I'm going to begin by saying that yes, I believe that um, believing in God is reasonable as a response to the experience of awe. I also believe that believing in an impersonal creative goodness is reasonable as a response to the experience of awe. As I've said a number of times in the prior podcasts. Um, and why do I think this matters? Because I think that part of what's the great divide in our society today is about whether it's reasonable for somebody to believe in God. And because some people want to address life only objectively, um, and they're finding it fairly difficult to appreciate a belief in God as an objectively valid belief. So, what I'm going to talk about today is um, why approaching life only from the objective is unsupported by the evidence, that history and our growing appreciation of the subjectivity that's the source of the inspiration and direction that we need to live by shows that uh, we can't simply live by the objective approach to life. We have to discover that the objective approach is inadequate, and then we start looking for uh, aspects of the subjective approach that seem more reasonable. And we end up with the experience of awe as the beginning of subjectivity and deciding that it's the best beginning we have and that objectively it's reasonable to accept a subjective beginning to our view of life. And the experience of awe leads us uh, strongly either to personify this creative goodness we sense at work in the universe and call it God, or to simply experience the creative goodness at work and decline to call it God, decline to personify it, um, and refer to it as creative goodness. And the the point being that, in my opinion, after a lifetime of study about this and trying to be open about this, I don't think there's any objective way to live purely objectively. I think that um, it is reasonably easy to see that it just doesn't work. It's not adequate that it leaves us without inspiration and guidance. And so I want to talk about that quite a bit more, but I'm going to try to break things up in, in bite-sized pieces. And so I think I'm going to quit there for today. I've got much more to say about it. It's going to take some more days to do it. Before I leave today, I do want to bring up two happy things. Um, and I have 9 grandchildren, and um, they're quite dear to me. And I've just recently found some old telescope pictures in my little cubby holes, and I realized there's some fabulous pictures of my grands, all 9 of them when they were little tykes at the beach, and it's just such fun to find these things. And I discovered there's a company where you can send them to, and they can scan them in, and they use some kind of digital program that allows you to blow them up to normal size photos by filling in all the blanks. Apparently, there's not enough pixels in these little small things to make a normal size photo print out of them that would be fun to look at. But there's that. And the other thing is, yesterday I had the enormous pleasure of, for the first time, being able to hold my new great grandbaby, Lucy. And she gave me a smile and an inquisitive look. And she spent her, 10, 15 minutes in my arms, just tugging on my finger with her little tiny fingers and looking quite content. And if that isn't an experience of awe that makes you grateful to be alive in this world, and certainly understandably want to find somebody to thank for it, I don't know what is. Okay, enough. See you tomorrow.